If you have not been to Mount Graham just outside of Safford, Arizona, you are missing out. Just before we got to Thatcher, we realized we'd forgotten the dog food. Remember, your friendly supermarket can provide what you need on the way. Taylor Freeze is a must-see in Thatcher. As you can see, there's more than 24 flavors of soft-serve ice cream. We had the nice mushroom burger and some iced tea. Here we're going through Thatcher, and in a moment we'll go through the nice town of Safford. Okay, we're actually in Safford. We've come through town, and now we'll be turning right on 191. Now it's time to go up the mountain. It was a very windy day. We had a lot of sediment in the air. Here we are at the bottom, about 3,000 feet, and as you can see, it's 97 degrees. We're going up. 5,000, and it's 92. 86. Here we're getting to the Arcadia campground. We did not camp here, but it is lovely. There's a $20 fee, but you have bathrooms and trash disposal. The most important amenity here are the squirrels, and if you ask Tom and Jerry, they will agree. Here's the pit toilet. It was very clean. And now we'll take a sweep of the campground. There were a couple nice spots overlooking the creek, and then they had bear-proof trash cans just so that you could keep the big brown bears out of your garbage. You can pay by cash or check at the campsite. Switchback's challenging, just take it slow. We were surprised to see cabins about halfway up the mountain. There are other campsites. Go to the Coronado Forest website and they will give you the information you'll need. 8,000 feet and 77 degrees. It's looking good. Here we're into the tall pines. (9,000 feet and 73 wonderful degrees. Here we start on the unpaved portion after mile 23. You can use a passenger car, just take it slow. Here's Hospital Flat undeveloped camping site. This is where we spent our night. In the 1880s, it served as a site for a field hospital for ailing soldiers from Fort Grant. I couldn't find a picture of the hospital itself. Fort Grant was opened in 1872 to fight the Apaches. It finally closed in 1905. This cool mountain meadow served as a summer retreat for officers and their families escaping the heat of the desert outpost. We walked the trail before we went in to make sure there was a good place to turn the camper around. The dogs can smell the forest and know we're going to camp. Here's our home away from home for the night. Okay, it's time to set up camp. You'll see how quick it is. Setting up the back and getting out the lawn chairs, and we're ready to camp. God, there's the hammocks too. We're not extravagant campers. Just the beagles and a nice lawn chair. Oh, and some bug repellent. We are beagle approved and medical ready. This seems to be an abandoned camp from long ago. Oh, just look overhead. The clouds, they're moving very quickly. It's not too windy down where we're at. The weather's looking a little threatening, so we're going to set up the kitchen and get ready for dinner, even though we're not going to eat now. We'll eat a little later. I love this stove. It even has a place to toast toast. It'll be linked down below in the show notes. We're out camping, just you, me, and the dogs. It's 5 o'clock. The wind's come up and we're totally covered by clouds. First thunder. When it's a hot, dry summer in Phoenix, it's so nice to hear it. Here comes Jerry with a prized find. It seems to be the forefoot of a javelina. Tony took it away. Jerry was very, very disappointed. It had hoof and fur. After a good hand washing, it was time to get back to doggy dinner. That didn't quite work out the way I'd planned. I should have put them both down at the same time. Well, it did start to sprinkle, so we thought we'd get busy with dinner. It was quick, and I do love my windshield. Nothing better than Dinty Moore stew. Oh, the beagles can watch. But it's Mom and Dad's dinner time. We have stew and crackers. Okay, maybe for a good dog, a cracker too. Well, it did start to rain, if you look at Tony's shirt. And the party had to be moved indoors. After dinner, it was time to get out the doggy beds. It was after 7 and sprinkling in earnest. If you listen closely, you can hear it sprinkling on the top of the camper. The sheet over the bed is to keep the muddy dog paws off our bed. Here comes Tony and Tom. Collar off. Okay, Tom, time to get up in the doggy den. Oh, I think he has other ideas.
Good job, Jerry.
Time for Tony to take off his shoes. And I'm setting up the tablet for movie night. This little gem is linked below as well. Oh, it's 7:30, and can you hear the rain now? Really came down for about an hour and a half. 57 out and 68 in. Perfect. Right before bed, it was time for a potty trip for man and beast. What an enchanting night in the forest. This is what we woke up to. Clouds in the trees. Flip-flops for me. Too wet for dogs. But not for long. Look at the size of that tree. Time to make beds. And clean up the cabin. Look, 62. Here's our outside thermometer. Now it's time for some oatmeal. That kettle's gonna give me the signal. Morning time is bed making time. I make my side first and then go on to Tony's. The last thing to go on is the dog sheet. It keeps the bedding clean. Or cleaner. Teeth brushing and dirty dishes come next. These are going home to be washed. We decided not to take the trailer up to the visitor center, so we locked her up and drove off. This is us coming out of Hospitlal Flat Campground. The road is bumpier from here, all dirt, but the scenery is spectacular, including this beautiful meadow off to our left. Again, you can see the clouds rolling onto these beautiful mountaintops. I was all worried about the camper, and I looked back, and it wasn't on here. There are a few tighter turns, but this is the worst of it. It always amazes me when water flows outside of a mountain. There are hundreds and hundreds of these fire stacks. The Forest Service has been doing a wonderful job of cleaning up. And the views again are spectacular. I didn't realize there was so much farmland around Mount Graham. This is the Fort Grant Lookout. As you walk up, you can see how steep the mountain is, and you can see where the old military fort was at the bottom. This rock wall was built by the CCC in the 1930s. The road forks here to go up to the observatory or on up to Riggs Lake and the visitor center. Here we're turning into the visitor center. It's a nice spot to have a picnic and to talk to the forest ranger. They have a weather station and many teaching opportunities and plaques around the courtyard. The Visitor Center is open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and major holidays. You won't believe this story, but Denise, the Park Service volunteer, actually worked with my sister at the bottom of the Grand Canyon more than 20 years ago. She was a backcountry ranger for more than 30 years and a very interesting person. The visitor center is lovely and well done. The CCC worked hard in the 1930s. There are black bears up here. Be careful and follow the rules. There is spring water available at the visitor center. We returned for the camper, hitched her up, and got ready to go. We had neighbors come in as we were leaving. We went on a Thursday and left on a Friday, so they were coming in for the weekend. I wish my job as a heavy construction nurse allowed me more time for camping, but I'll be retired here in the next couple of years. The ride down was more spectacular because we didn't have all the dust in the air and we had these beautiful rolling clouds. Look right in the middle of the frame, you'll see a Cudamunde. I've slowed down the video. We saw rabbit and deer cross our road as well. Here we are coming down into Safford. We called ahead and ordered dinner, and then we picked it up. The roasted corn nachos were spectacular. The rest wasn't bad either. We're back to 100 degrees and headed west on our way home. Tom and Jerry had a wonderful time, and the camper's back in the barn. We'll see you next time, jeeping through Arizona history.